President Muhammadu Buhari has asked world leaders to consider developing states facing fiscal and liquidity challenges and consider them for debt suspension, including outright cancellation. He stated this on Friday while addressing world leaders at the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. Buhari said, on the issue of debt, we have seen that developing countries have been faced with unsustainable debt burdens even before the pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic has increased the risk of new wave of deepening debts, where vital public financial resources are allocated to external debt servicing and repayments at the expense of domestic health and financing for critical developmental needs. I must commend the current initiatives by the international financial institutions and the G20 aimed at significantly mitigating the economic situation of the indebted countries and urge for more efforts in this regard. Therefore, there is an urgent need to consider expansion and extension of the debt service suspension initiative to include all developing, least developed countries and small island developing states facing fiscal and liquidity challenges. In addition, a review of the eligibility criteria for debt suspension, including outright cancellation, is needed for countries facing the most severe challenges. Nigeria reaffirms that international trade is an engine for development and sustained economic growth, as well as the global eradication of poverty. My delegation would like to reaffirm the critical role that a universal, rules-based, open, non-discriminatory, and equitable multilateral trading system can play in stimulating economic growth and development. Fair and equitable trade would eventually eliminate the need for aid. My country, and indeed all African countries, do not intend to stay indefinitely looking for aid. All we need is a fair and equitable system of international trade. Buhari's plea comes amid Nigeria's towering external debt, which is at least $33 billion. The government, despite public outcries, has further approached the National Assembly to take fresh loans to attend to critical infrastructure. Of course, these are the things that they have written for Buhari to go and see. All these guys, they are not ashamed of themselves. For how long have they been having this UN, GA, this United Nations General Assembly? For how many years? Every time there's this whole thing, the same thing. African countries will go and be when are they going to improve? When are you going to improve? And meanwhile, all those leaders, the world leaders and other leaders that are there, the ones that the G20 or whatever, go and check their leaders and check the leaders of African leaders. Check those who are even richer. Check the ones that are even more richer than each other. Between the African leaders and the so-called developed countries, their own leaders. Our own African leaders, especially Nigeria, they are richer than those people. Especially Nigeria. Let me not even generalize to the whole of African countries. But when you talk about Nigeria, these guys are stinkingly rich. I mean the so-called politicians, the so-called leaders that we have in Nigeria. They are richer than these people. Year in, year out, the same story. You don't want to beg this and that. You can't cancel your debt for you. Is that the reason why you continue to be borrowing and no plans to pay back? Infrastructure. That was how Buhari went to go and be begging the Queen of Netherlands. You want to borrow money to develop Nigeria. They've been collecting the money. Nigeria is even getting worse. It's getting worse day in, day out. And people thought that this Buhari would be different from the rest ones. Very, very unfortunate. They don't get shame. Oh. That is the problem we even have. They don't even get shame. And they will be there. They will be shaking like leaves. But once they come back to Nigeria, they will become demigods. They will become lion, tigers. The same story every day. We know they pass. We know they fail for as a country. Always going, all in the, with the attitude of begging, like less privileged. But once they get all the money, in fact, now their hand will be like this. At this age and time, Buhari has been visiting UK hospital. Up to even when he came on board to even say, oh, enough is enough. What am I going to leave on ground? Or our doctors are going out they are being employed in other countries. The ones that have not gone, they are on strike. They will go there and be talking what I don't understand. Go on to cancel debt for you. It's truly an Hausa man. See sense after una don borrow, share within una selves. Oh, so that he will borrow more than before. Never, they must collect their money back. They will not cancel anything. People are now saying that they must collect their money. Nigeria's international and local embarrassment. He will embarrass the country wherever he goes. He is still borrowing and asking for debt cancellation. You see how greedy this man can be? God bless Buhari and Nigeria. So the ones that want to borrow now, you are asking them to borrow you. That means they will have the mind that, oh, you don't have an intention, you don't even know how to pay. You don't even have plans on how to pay back those loans you are still trying to borrow. Yes, let them cancel the debt, but first tell them what you used all those humongous money borrowed and the Abacha loot to do. If you use the money to build railway to Niger, a refinery, then use the fund generated to pay back. If you use the money to construct Ruga or cow colony, you are on your own. Parasites everywhere. You fail. This man doesn't even know what to say. Let him come back. You keep on borrowing recklessly and even borrowing to build rail to Niger Republic, where your cousins reside. Which sane country will grant you a debt reduction on this useless act? This man is shameless. Cancel waiting. You must pay am. Unfortunately, not being go pay am. Oh. He go come out now. And the worst part of it is that by the time he leaves office, we will still be paying him because he has done beautiful nonsense. We are still going to be paying him. Oh. Nigerian government will still be paying him. Even all this Obasanjo, good luck, and even with the way we are complaining that all of them contributed to the problems we are experiencing now, they are still being paid though. In case you don't know, they are still being paid. In case you don't know. Oh my goodness. Keep begging them. They will have pity on you. Senior Yahoo. Finally, Buhari has seen his menstruation. See this one they talk. Well, this is laughable, Mr. Clown. What's happened? No be juju be that. It is on their DNA or in their DNA to beg. I thought it's only the Amajeris that goes about begging. Kole work. You must pay the debt. You must pay. But unfortunately, nobody go pay. Buhari go pay. In less than 2 years that he is still in office, you expect him to pay. Pay what? Pay fire. Now you go see pay. And they will oblige to it. Buhari canvasses support from powerful world leaders before tabling his well-articulated speech. God, we thank you for this great man. Who be this one? You borrow money from me. Can't they beg me? Make I forget her. No be juju be that. So guys, let's hear your opinion. Let's have your take on this. Thank you.